Um, there was a movie I watched this morning that I just have to talk about. I don't even really get the point of this movie. I'm not going to say the name because I may do a spoiler, and so I don't want you to know what movie it is. But the the thing that boggles my mind as well is like, how were these movies made during quarantine? Like, before they kissed, were they tested and quarantined? I mean, like, I don't even know. It just makes no sense at all. You know, these movies coming out, new movies. Really? So while we're all locked up, you guys are out, making movies and having a good time. Good for you. Yeah, good for you. It's very odd. And it's odd, like, as soon as the stuff started coming out, right when it all started, and they start having these commercials about these and all this stuff, about how scared you should be, I was like, when did they make these? They seem kind of like they already had them ready. Like, what is going on? Yeah, but it seems apparently people don't question stuff. So, what gets me to this movie. So, in a place where, you're the last person left, and it shows, usually in the movies, it shows us, there's one person left, and they are just out there looking for someone else. There's got to be someone else. They don't want to be alone. They just go and keep looking. Well, in this one, there's a group of people, but it makes more sense to them, I guess, to kill one another in last man standing. And then they'll go out and look to make sure there's nobody else out there. It's like, how in the hell does this make sense? Like, we're not going to be working in cooperation with each other. We're not going to try and make things better. We're not going to try and, uplift this situation. We're going to be on guard. We're going to try and outsmart one another and ultimately kill one another because, I don't know, survival of the fittest, I guess, but that doesn't make any sense. Survival of the fittest is being able to survive when there's danger, being able to outsmart it, to think, you're being chased, climb a tree. That's what I said. Like right now, they have so many people who aren't even in, run down the block for your life shape. you know, I mean, it's crazy how many people are just so completely out of shape, and they feel like, well, I can't afford to go to the gym. Well, you don't need a gym. All you got to do is have the drive. There's plenty of stuff to do around your house to exercise. It's not necessary to go to a gym. A gym is for a certain group of people who like to go to the gym, but it's not an excuse to not take care of yourself, but, there's a lot of manipulation, so I'm not shaming you in any way. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying you got to look at yourself in the mirror and say, am I at my optimum? Could I be better? Could I do better? And usually I think the answer would be yes, for most people. So, it just is weird. And it's weird, even how it just ended, just abruptly. Like, okay, well, now you're alone. So, good luck to you. Look out over the landscape of nothingness for as far as the eye can see, up on the top of a mountain, looking out across a desert of nothingness. Like, to me, that is gives me the same kind of feeling as like those people out in the middle of the ocean stuck. Which, one of those people who Mr. Ballin was talking about, some of these people have these miraculous things happen. And one of the people who he was talking about, it wasn't the guy who went in the whale's mouth or the girl who shot through the cloud. It was, another person, and they had like, oh my God, 5 or 6 miraculous things that had saved them. And one of them was out in the middle of the ocean by themselves. God save from that, you know? So yeah, those things are like terrifying to me. And, you know, this concept as well of just being out there completely alone and nothingness, nobody, you know, it's, I don't know. It's weird. It's like, okay, so did they make this movie to get people to think about like trying to get along better and to, you know, prioritize? You know, you shouldn't, you know, if there's only a couple of you left, you shouldn't murder the other ones. Like, I don't know. It seems like so basic to me. Like, you know, yeah, why would you murder the last people you, it's weird. But and there's another thing too. I was watching this and I was just thinking so much about, yeah, when people try and decide what's good and bad and stuff like that, well, you can't decide because you don't have the whole picture, because you haven't lived every experience, and what's good and bad for each person is going to be different. Like, we could think, you know, certain people could think like stealing, that's just, you know, it says do not steal in the Bible, and that is punishable by, you know, burning in hell for eternity. So a lot of people would be like, oh, you know, I'm not stealing anything. But then there's other people who have got to steal to survive. They have no way to survive. So are they bad people? Or are they just people trying to survive? And when you put a whole species into that kind of arena and then pair them up against each other and then say, oh, this is good, this is bad, these people are good, these people are bad. You know, like, do you listen? You know, you go in there like a fucking gladiator, just mindlessly murdering? Or do you, you know, use your logic and your sense and think things through? Use your connection to, you know, the higher power, the source, the, you know, there's so many different words. They all like rush into my head at once. So, yeah, I don't understand that at all. And there was something else I was thinking about that I wanted to say about that. Oh, I can't remember. But anyways, I just feel like if we're trying to survive, then we need to use each other, because we all have different skills. We all have different things that we see. You know, that was the beauty of Gilligan's Island. You know, they all had these different skills, and you put them together, then you've got a lot more skills. If you only are using your own, you're very limited, you know? So I don't understand how people don't think like cooperation is better. And I think it's also weird what cooperation means, but then they turned everything into corporate. It's like this manipulation. Just like I said, you know, they've been doing that with the words. They give the words different meanings to different generations because it causes division. It creates arguments. It creates division. And then constantly blame the other generation for the problems. They do that. That's one of their special talents. And what was it? Keeps on being like it's trying to like knock at the door in my head, and I can't. I'm having problems opening it. Well, I'll probably just come back in a second, because I don't want to sit here and just keep struggling, trying to remember what it was I was going to say. But anyways, just think about stuff, you know, like, does it make sense? Some of the things, like, think them through. You know, next weekend's my birthday. It's 60th, you know, this big birthday with all this expectation. And, I could, like I said before, I could drive home or something, have birthday cake with my family or whatever. Or I can just sit here and be like, okay, it's just a day. I'm not going to, let it ruin my time because there's so much expectation that is put on this birthday from the time you're freaking, I don't know, by the time you're 10. I don't even remember the first time I started hearing like the 60th birthday. It's like, oh my God, you made it 60 years? Well, that's a celebration. You got one foot in the grave. So yeah, it's kind of funny, but I'm not gonna go and chase that. I'm gonna try and resolve these issues in my mind about expectation and understanding. But I got invited to a barbecue next weekend. It's the day before my birthday, and I could just be like, there's going to be people there who, that there's a tension, let's say, already, that being called a liar and stuff like that. I don't take it lightly. And so when I go to this bar, like I could refuse to go, but what does that do for me? Am I just ruining my day because I'm not going to go and be around these people? Am I making the whole event tense because I say I'm not going to go, and then it causes more tension in my life? So to me, it's like, well, I'm going to go. I'm going to try and not put expectation and be like, oh, I'm just going to go for an hour, because it crossed my mind. Oh, I'll just go for an hour. I don't have to talk to anybody. I'll just stand by the cook, which also is at the house with the guy who wants me arrested for, I don't even know. I don't think he knows my political views. I think it's just the tattoos that he has decided I'm a criminal and a drug addict. It's really weird. I mean, to go and start looking in my car for contraband. What the hell? I don't know. I guess I just have an image of a drug addict as being a lot more, not taken care of. Focused on doing drugs, not taking care of themselves, and they look a little haggard. They look a little worn out. They've got like a lot of issues. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I take care of myself. This guy doesn't. And it's just, I don't know. It's just so weird sometimes when you just like, what? Do you look at yourself in the mirror? Do you think you're the picture of health? Do you think you have room to judge anybody? And it just trips me out how like people can't look past tattoos. It's hilarious. I'm telling you, it is. It is a gift. People can walk around and think like, oh my God, why would someone do that to themselves? Oh my God, what's wrong with them? And they're just mental. They're crazy. They're just some kind of freak. However you want to see the world is how you want to see the world. I don't have control over that. But I love to be able to walk around, and anyone who sees the world a certain way, it's like their eyes light up and you can see like, oh, stay away from them, stay away from that, because they show themselves. They can't help themselves but to expose themselves, what's on the inside. And if they've got judgment and generalizing, stereotyping behavior, then it's like, okay, I don't have time for you, sorry. And I'm still going to go to this barbecue, and it's funny, because it's kind of like, if you don't eat meat, you got to bring your own, and then bring something else. Like I could sit here and do it for myself. Just sit here. But I'm going to put myself out there and do it for myself, to show myself I can be a certain way, even in certain situations, that I can remain myself, that I'm not going to be changing for somebody else. I'm not going to be reactive because somebody else has got issues, I'm just going to be myself. And when I'm done being myself and dealing with whatever. And if I'm not having fun, I'll just leave. I don't feel trapped to this situation, but I also don't feel like, I feel like it would be, me missing an opportunity to not go, and an opportunity of growth and challenge and to test myself. Like, how are you going to do? Can you go there and, not, somebody can be a bitch to you and not be a bitch back? Can you just allow someone else to be themselves without reacting? I believe I can. I believe I'm completely ready for this. So I think it's going to be, kind of fun. And then the next day on my birthday, I'm going to take the dogs to the dog park. They had so much fun yesterday. And Trixie did so well. Man, she did good. And I'm going to do that and then go get some fast food, maybe get a bottle of wine or something like that. I don't drink much, but I was like, well, something special I could do. I don't do that very often. So get a wine or a beer or something. Just sit here and just enjoy my own self and just acknowledge myself for my birthday, and enjoy myself without all of this, you got to spend money on black balloons. You got to buy little grave cakes and all this stuff, They've always got something for us to spend our money on. Which, by the way, I want to make it clear, in case it wasn't clear yesterday, that the government supplies the street drugs. They get them in here. They supply the pornography. They take these women and take over their lives. They take them over for little kids. They take these people's lives over for the sickness, to continue. They do this. They aren't out to save you. They'll put up some treatment centers. Hell yeah, they will. And hope that, they have ways of like, well, the government will pay for it, so the government has to give them money, so they'll funnel it. That's all they're doing is funneling money, just like their little creepy tunnel system. They're little rats, and they just funnel, tunnel. They're just a bunch of sickos. And it's so funny. They've been hiding from us for so long, and they thought that they could do it. They thought they could get away with their crimes and die. Well, I don't think they planned on dying anytime soon. I mean, they're vampires, so. But that they thought that we could die without knowing who they were. And it's not working for them. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. We get to watch the little rats be exposed. The lights come on and the roaches scatter. They all run to their little corners. But we see you, You can't get away this time. We know who you are. And we're about to see the big old giant shoe, the shoe of God, come down and smash these roaches. So it's going to be a good time. But there is something else. It's like lingering. I can't get it off my mind, but I've got to stop talking. I get in this thing, just like with my birth certificate, where you start blocking it because you start getting like this panicky feeling of like, what is it? Where is it? And it's like, okay, relax. You got to calm down. You got to let the information come in. If you're sitting there like going crazy, it can't come in. You have to be, that's why meditation is important a lot, is that quieting your mind so you can listen clearly, hear what they have to say. Oh, they've been telling me so much stuff, writing it down. I'll probably just go in and read what it is, because I'm sure that will trigger what it is that I was going to say. So I'll be back in a sec.